Hey everyone. Okay, now that I have your attention, yes, your child, in some ways, I swear, the longer I work with these kids, I know this, that they know more about their difficulties or what they need than sometimes the adults do. I think that kids sometimes are just more in tune because they're less um indoctrinated, I guess you could say, into what we think, into a system of what we think they need, because this is what we've always done. So if you are that mom, let me know in the comments below, who lies awake at night wondering how are they going to manage in, grade 4? How are they going to manage when they get to grade 8? How are they going to manage in high school? Oh my God, what about this September? If you feel like you've tried everything, your kid is discouraged, they don't like schoolwork, it's a battle royale, and you're not looking forward to that back to school startup, then this is for you. You really want to tune in and listen to why kids resist doing homework or tutoring or whatever it is that we have them in. And I want to be clear that these things, are not bad in and of themselves, but it's why they have the resistance. So the thing is that I've talked about this before, that whenever a kid has been in tutoring, remedial reading programs, writing programs, math, whatever the case may be, when they've been in it for a while and they're not getting results, it can actually further lower their confidence because they see that they are putting in all this extra time compared to their peers, and yet their peers are further ahead than them doing less work. That would make anyone feel, really crappy about themselves. So, this proves to these kids, which is totally not true. Let's be very clear on that. But to them, it's proof I'm stupid, I'm dumb, I'm broken, and so forth. And these kids are smart. I know this 100%. And I know that you know this, but they know when something is not working, and they will resist the homework. They will resist the tutoring that is not the right action at that point if it's not getting any results, because they're seeing it's not getting any results, right? I'm sure you can think of a time in your life where you're being told you to do something, you're like, this isn't working, and maybe somebody's not listening to you, and you need something different. And I swear that's what is going on with these kids, because whenever they do try other things, or, for example, I have kids in my program, I get them on board with doing something totally different that's building their brain in a totally different way. They're on board because then they understand. I explain how it works, they understand how it works, and then also they start seeing pretty results pretty darn quick. So it has to make sense, right? For any of us, whether it's an adult or a kid or whatever we're trying to do, whatever intervention we're trying to do, it absolutely has to make sense. And this is why they're giving you such a hard time, because to them, it's not working. They're like, I've been in tutoring for 4 or 5 years and I'm getting further and further behind, right? And like, it can just feel like it's getting worse, but sometimes it is. So I want to talk about the two reasons why that can happen. Reason number one is that as kids get older, for sure, the work is going to get harder, particularly with stuff like reading and so forth, and they're falling further behind. They're not able to just get by anymore. Some of them get to the point where they feel like they're absolutely drowning. Okay. Reason number two is that if a child has a reading disorder, learning disability, even a focus or attention issue or whatever, they lack the connections in the brain that are key for the skill that they need. So someone who has a reading difficulty lacks enough sufficient connections in the left side of the brain for them to be reading on automatic instead of manual. And so it just becomes so laborious, and this is what's going to cause them to fall further and further behind as the workload gets heavier and as the work itself becomes more challenging compared to what they're actually able to do. And so this is why strengthening these faulty pathways is key. But number one, first, you have to identify and then you have to strengthen. And just keep in mind, when it comes to the brain always takes the easiest slash laziest route. Okay. We all do this. This is why it takes effort to create a new habit, whether it's going for a walk every morning, going to bed earlier, not using our phone, whatever, because we are creatures of habit. Our brain, when we create like a super highway in our brain, right? That's the route our brain wants to take to do that, to do something. And it's going to take effort to do something different. And so this is why extra practice is just going to reinforce that route that they've always been using. It's just same thing over and over and over again. And that's why the results can seem like so slow and so forth. So extra practice reinforces pathways in the brain that it's using out of habit. What we want to do is create new pathways. Start with dirt roads, turn them into little side roads, turn them into two-lane highways, then super highways. That's always my goal. I tell my clients, is always my goal. We're going to turn this dirt road into a super highway. And we have to do that by stimulating the brain and giving it challenging but rewarding activities. So not so challenging that a kid's going to be unmotivated, which is what is happening when they are doing reading or tutoring and so forth, and they feel like they're absolutely drowning. There's no reward. So there has to be that balance between challenging enough but still rewarding. So the key is finding the problem and addressing the problem. That's how we go from a compensation approach, which is primarily what we're doing in the education system and conventional traditional approaches, to a more cutting edge approach, which is based on correction. So basically, when you're doing this, you're no longer working around a mysterious or invisible problem like dysgraphia or dyslexia. And why isn't this working? What do we need to do? And it just feels so obscure and so frustrating. And so if you want to learn more about this, tomorrow, I will be doing a live training at 12 p.m. Eastern on how improving these certain key weak connections in the brain can help kids who struggle with reading to be more fluent and confident readers. Obviously, there's more to it. There's nutrition and all of that, which I've talked about before, but tomorrow I really want to talk about this. It's something I'm really passionate about because it's insane how so many of us don't know about this, who are in education, in reading, as parents with kids with learning difficulties, whatever the case may be. And once these get addressed, a whole new world can open up. So if you want to join that, make sure you sign up, save your seat. I will put the link in the comments below. So have a great day, everyone. Take care.